The Big Sick. The Big Stick is the story of Pakistani-born comedian Kumail, who is trying to make it in the stand-up comic world in Chicago, Illinois. He grew up in Pakistan and moved to the United States with his family when he was young. His parents wanted him to become a lawyer, have an arranged marriage with a woman of their choice, and also to practice Islam. However, this gets complicated as Kumail meets a woman named Emily, who he starts to date and is keeping secret from his family, along with a few other secrets. Kumail has to balance all this in order to retain his family, his love, and his passion for stand-up comedy. And we have our movie. My overall thoughts: this was the story I never knew that I needed to hear. Kumail Nanjiani wrote this movie with his wife, Emily Gordon, and this is a sort of account of how they came to be. And it is done absolutely beautifully. It's like the classic conversation you might have with friends or your own parents where you ask, hey, how did you guys meet? This movie fundamentally answers that question for Kumail and Emily. And it's done magnificently between their writing and directing from Michael Showalter. So let's start off with what I liked about this movie. The story here is incredible. Kumail has to balance a lot in this movie. He wants to maintain his relationship with his family, although the stakes are ever growing. He's dealing with meeting his dream girl and how that puts a strain on his relationship with his parents. And he has to deal with all this while trying to kickstart a stand-up comic career in Chicago, Illinois, which is no easy thing to do. All of this internal struggle brings up a lot of different fascinating topics and ideas related to things like family, pursuing your goals, pursuing your passions, being who you are, and suffering the consequences for doing all of that. And to make things even more interesting, Kumail faces a very unique circumstance that fundamentally changes the dynamic of this movie and makes the story all the more incredible. Do yourself a favor, go into this movie cold if you can. Don't watch the trailers, don't even read the synopsis. The less you know, the better, because wow, what a story. Also, this movie has a way of really getting you to feel many different emotions throughout its experience. Movies are experiential events. If they can make you laugh, cry, and also even learn a little something about yourself, you've watched one hell of a movie. And that's what this movie does, and what makes it special is the fact that it interweaves between all of these different emotions really seamlessly. You've got the comedic banter between Kumail and his friends who are also stand-up comics that are trying to make it in that same city. You've got the tear-jerking moments that occur between him and Emily as they go through their relationship milestones, and also between Kumail and his parents as they have some very heavy moments together. It really gets you feeling something in your heart. You've got the moments of growth where you see Kumail go through a very relatable experience, the way he copes with it, and then you think to yourself, wait a minute, I just went through that last week. What did he do in order to combat it that I can apply to my own life? Also, Holly Hunter and Ray Romano are excellent supplements in this movie. They play Emily Gordon's parents in this movie, and it's really fascinating to see Kumail meet them for the first time and see the relationship grow as the movie grows. But the beauty extends beyond that as he grows a relationship with these people that's like no other. Kumail has to navigate through a very unusual circumstance with both Holly Hunter and Ray Romano in this movie, and it just shows you, and it's a testament to finding love and solace in even the most unlikely places in life. It becomes a very heartwarming story, and a lot of that can be attributed to the excellent acting between Holly Hunter and Ray Romano portraying these parents. It's done perfectly. And lastly, this movie does a very good job of giving you a sneak peek into what it's like to grow up into an immigrant household. Myself, I grew up in the US and I grew up with a non-immigrant household, so I can always appreciate it when a movie gives me a brand new perspective. In the case of Kumail and his family, the movie gives you plenty of time to get acclimated with them and interact with them to see what their normal is like. The heavy expectations that they give him, how he deals with those expectations, the normal cultural practices that make their family who they are, and how sometimes that can divide parents and children within households. The movie gives you all of that, and it taught me a ton, and I think it might give you a perspective that you can walk away with from this movie. Now moving on to the cons, the delivery of the dialogue wasn't always stellar. In this particular case, it's not what they said that bothered me, it's how they said it. The one example that comes to mind is there's a scene between Kumail and Emily where they're starting to go through a little spat, which all couples do. And you can tell Kumail is trying to hold in a laugh in a very serious situation, and it's a little distracting for that scene, and it really takes some of the emotion out. Oh well, it's stuff like that that can really hark down the emotion that you're supposed to feel from the movie, but just the delivery just kind of puts it off kilter. Having said all of that, I'm gonna give this movie a 9 out of 10. This movie is amazing. Please do yourself a favor, find it on Amazon Prime Video if you're looking for something new to watch. There's an incredibly story to be told here, and you will be all the better for watching it. Friends, have you seen The Big Sick? If so, what'd you think of it? You know where the comment section is. Let me know. Thanks so much for watching another Bankrupt Hippo movie review. Click right here if you like this and want to see more. I've been Bryson. Until next time, have a great day.